Hello, everybody. It is the cast of Real Talk. Well, part of the cast. A couple of girls are running a little late, so they will come as they see fit. And I do want to announce that that Erica, Mrs. B, VSG, unfortunately will not be able to join us on the show anymore due to some personal reasons. Just she has school and just some other personal reasons. But I just want to say thank you for, being on the show as for the last few shows. You were an amazing part of this, and I just want to say thank you. So, I guess we will start. Tonight we are talking about plastic surgery, pros and cons. A couple of us have had plastic surgery on here. And yeah, so I will introduce myself. Of course, I'm Miss Beautiful Alicia. And I'll let the other two introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Zen Maiden, aka Melody, and I've had plastic surgery.
And your YouTube channel, just so if anyone's...
my YouTube channel is Zen Maiden 1.
Okay.
And my name is Rob, and my channel is Rob Reno TV.
So anyway, yeah, so we are here to talk about plastic surgery, the pros and cons of it. And, I just recently had plastic surgery, as some of you may or may not know. And, so I just kind of want to go through it. And, yeah, so before we get to it, I just want to say, is there anything exciting that's been going on this week that you guys want to talk about?
Well, I have exciting news, but I really can't talk about it yet in public. So I will announce it shortly.
So exciting news soon to come.
Yes.
And you, Rob, how was your week?
My week was good. I did get a skin infection on my leg. I had this back in January, and it came back again, but I already have it in the bud because I knew immediately what it was. I started antibiotic treatment, and I'm using some steroid cream on my leg. It's just very weird. It's called cellulitis. It's very painful, but it's gone. I have it under control. It only kept me from working the runway one day this week, this past weekend. So everything is going amazing with my modeling, and just wanted to share that. Thank you.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, so as far as I go, we if you haven't watched my videos, you might see that this week I was hoping to get my drains out. Well, actually last week, Friday, I was hoping to get my drains out, but that didn't happen, and I was a little disappointed. But they assured me that this week my drains will be coming out. 3 weeks is the max that they want to have them in, and I understand, just because there's just so much output of fluid that it wouldn't be safe for me. So, yeah. So anyway, let's get started. So plastic surgery, I think it's a lot of controversy about it. Should we get it? Should we not get it? There's a lot of different kind of plastic surgery, and so there's reconstructive surgery, there's plastic surgery, cosmetic. So I think we should just go through and talk about the different kinds and stuff. But just before we get there, we will Sorry. She's running a little late, but we would like to announce that we have added a new. I haven't really announced it yet, but we have added a new member to the Real Talk family, and I will let her introduce herself.
My name is Melissa. A Mawizza VSG on Facebook, or Miss Mawizza on YouTube. I had lap band August 11th of 2000. No, August 16th of 2011, and then I had VSG February 24th of 2014, and I've lost 100 pounds. And that's about
Yay. Yeah. So okay. So thank you for joining us and being a
it.
part of this. And welcome, Pamela.
Hi, everyone. Sorry I'm late.
That's okay. Um, yeah. Well, Pamela, before we get started, why don't you tell everyone your channel name and just introduce yourself.
My channel is Her Heartstrings. I've been on YouTube for a little over a year now doing weight loss stuff, and I'm transitioning to be a vegan, still in transition mode. That's pretty much it, though.
When she's not going to Taco Bell.
Exactly. It's been over a month, so I'm doing pretty good.
Oh, that's good. That's amazing.
That Taco Bell's meat is not real meat, so it's basically vegan anyways.
Right? Pretty much.
Miniature meat.
Fake meat. Okay. So, let's just get started with, I guess, maybe, like I said, I've had surgery just recently. Zen has had surgery. I don't know. I'm pretty sure no one else here has had surgery, but we know Rob hasn't because we made that clear. But yeah. But anyway, so if you're not aware, I had the paniculectomy 2.5 weeks ago, and I have lost now 196 pounds. So I am 4 pounds away from the 200-pound mark, which I'm like, so once the swelling goes down, I know that that's going to be 4 pounds at least. So, but I feel amazing. They removed 29 pounds of skin, which is crazy to me. I just, I recently, I'm feeling like I'm looking like a normal person, and it's insane to me. Like, not that I know what normal is. Like, I don't think there's an actual normal, but to look at myself and to see that that my dream is coming true of being not looked at like I'm just some kind of freak, walking down the street and what am I doing? And, so I feel amazing. I can't wait to get these drains out to feel even better, but it definitely, for me, it was not cosmetic whatsoever. It was all about reconstructive surgery to remove that a large amount of skin, and stuff. So, yeah, and I feel better. And just so, in case anyone wants to know, I did not have much pain. It wasn't pain; it was discomfort, and it was a lot of. I felt like someone punched me. I'm sure that they punched me when I was asleep. When they had me out, I'm sure that they gave me a few good punches while I was under. So, because that's what it felt like. So what about you, Zen? I don't know how much you want to talk about what you've been through or what you.
I've had some facial plastic surgery done, and it was cosmetic, and I chose to do it. Part of it was in my nose. I had blockage also, so it was also functional. So I couldn't breathe through my nose growing up. So when I became an adult, and after I had my second daughter, I decided I was going to go ahead and have the plastic surgery. It was sinus surgery as well. So it not only made my nose more likable to my liking, it made it so I can actually breathe air through it. And I also had my eyes done as well. And there's other things I'm planning to have done as time goes on. I definitely want to have the tummy tuck, and yeah, perhaps the breast augmentation and lift definitely is, something I would not close the book on. Although It's not something I feel I have to rush out and do or anything like that. It's just something like if it was on the wish list, if the cash was handy, or if it becomes available, I would consider it. And for me, I think the tummy tuck will be something that I look forward to. Being able to wear smaller clothes, just feeling better about everything after the journey has come to a resting point, so to say.
Right.
You know, I mean, it may not be a perfect weight or whatever, but if you can get close enough to where you're comfortable, then I think that's a good place to get your plastics. I'm not going to be able to get to 125 anytime soon, nor do I really want to. But I'm just saying that, you know, I think all in all, it's self-improvement. It's how you want to approach it. Some people don't want to. That's fine. I say if you're interested in, you know, doing whatever makes you feel good, that you're going to like the result, you hope. You go to someone good, you know, you check them out, see their before and after pictures and all that, and make your decision of who you're going to use. It's very
Yeah. What about you, Rob? Would you ever have plastic surgery?
It's something that I would consider if I felt that I needed it. I don't. I've lost a considerable amount of weight and have lost even more than I had now, and my all went into place very well. I really didn't have a lot of problem with skin. My stomach would be the only place. I've never had a problem on my arms, between my legs, anything like that. So it's something I would consider. I've said it on many shows. I take the avenue if someone wants to put their tits on their back, that's their business. So if somebody basically wants to go out and have surgery of any kind, I think you have to educate yourself, and you're going to get what you put the effort into it. So if you go out and get some whack job physician who's not board certified, or someone that's really doesn't have the credentials to be doing what they can do, but have a license to be able to do it, you're putting yourself in a terrible position. It really is about preparing yourself, educating yourself, and not just jumping at the first person that says, I can make you a Barbie doll, I can make you 10. I think it's something that you really, really have to look at, because people that tend to get plastic surgeries, in my opinion, are doing it for a reason. It doesn't mean that you know, they're vain or necessarily anything. They want to better their appearance. They want to better something. They want to feel better about themselves, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But if a doctor does a botched job, or especially when you're dealing with your face or something that someone can see, I don't care how much money you win in a lawsuit. If you're somebody that wanted plastic surgery for a specific reason, you are not going to be happy no matter how much money you won in that lawsuit. So I think there's a lot of due diligence that needs to be done on your part if you're deciding to get that. And it is something that I would consider if I felt that I needed it. But Oil of Olay has been amazing to me since I was young, and it's going to keep being amazing to me. Okay, because I'm under contract with them. That's who one of my modeling contracts is with. So next person.
That is our commercial for the show.
Yeah,
Oil of Olay. It works. Pamela, what about you? What are your thoughts? Would you ever get it? Is it something that you're like for, against?
I'm for it. I know there's people who like obsessively, you know, get way too much stuff done, and it's like that whole like they're looking for perfection thing, and I don't really necessarily agree with that. But for me, I definitely have plans to get boobs done in the future, because I've only lost 30 pounds. I still have like another 90 to 100 to go. And the poor girls, they're just not the same anymore. And like I can only imagine how it's gonna be. So I'm definitely gonna get that done. I don't know about anything else. Maybe a tummy tuck, I'm not sure, but we want to have kids, so I may wait till after that period is over and then get those things done.
Yeah.
would be wise.
Yeah.
You know, there's a couple things I want to talk about. So, first of all, I want to talk about how you see a lot of men getting surgery. Like, because honestly, I don't see. I see. Obviously, it's a majority of women, but is there a lot of men that get plastic surgery? And if so, what kind do you guys see them getting? I haven't really seen any.
I've seen some.
Have you?
Yeah, they get their pecs done. Sometimes they get the tummy tuck or 360 body lift if they've lost a lot of weight. I would say that's probably, you know, for weight loss surgery, people that have lost a lot of weight from men, that they want to look better. What else have I seen? A lot of men have done their nose.
Yeah.
And a lot of men and women do it to look better in the workplace, to compete for jobs. They think that the better looking they are, the more likely they are to get the job, and I think there's probably research on that would back that up. Not saying that it's every time that's the reason, but I think it makes them more marketable to appear younger and to, look their best, quote unquote, their best.
Thank God I'm not in that boat. I look forever young. Here we go.
Okay.
Oil of Olay.
I think chins is another one. That's one I've seen on TV a lot that men go for, is they want the chins and whatnot.
They'll make it like a stronger jawline where they put implants in the jaw.
Yeah.
So I actually have some. I did a little research. Yes, Alicia actually did some research, and I found from 2013. These are the top 5 male cosmetic surgical procedures. So, number 1, the most common one was nose reshaping. So, the guys wanted their nose reshaped. And it says there was 57,000 in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this comes from the 2013, or this comes from the American Society of Plastic Surgeons, so that's where I got my info. The second one was eyelid surgery.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, is it because they have like a lot of fat in their eyelid or something?
Heavy eyelids, yeah. Usually that's why, or brow lift too.
So it was actually up 5% from 2012. The next one is liposuction. That to me just seems like it would hurt. Like having them just.
Yeah, they go crazy in there.
And stuff. And then the next is breast reduction in men.
Right.
That was number 4. So I know when men, they lose a lot of weight, they still have the boobages there. So, and then the number 5 was facelift.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's just not something that, probably their chin and stuff, and because
No, they pull the whole thing up.
Do they?
Yeah, they cut here and back here and pull it up. They drill up here, pull it up.
Oh, jeez. I'll keep my face.
Out of curiosity, did you get the same stats for women? Because if not, I did. I got them from the same source that you got.
Okay. Go ahead.
For women, the 2013 top 5 cosmetic surgical procedures, and this is from the same source, American Society of Plastic Surgeons, coming in 5th place, 133,000 procedures was a facelift. And that was up 6% from 2012. Coming in number 4 was liposuction with 200,000+. Was down 1% from 2012. Eyelid surgery was number 3. That was 216,000 procedures, and that was up 6%. Nose reshaping was a second with 221,000 procedures, and that was actually down 9% from 2012. And coming in number 1 was breast augmentation with over 290,000, and that was up 1% from 2012. So that just goes to show you the variance between the men and the women.
Yeah, definitely. And and another thing I wanted to talk about was, expectations. What kind of expectations do people have from surgery, or what do you guys think that the expectations? I mean, I know for myself that going into this, like I said, it was not a cosmetic. It wasn't something that I was like, I want to look better. I actually wanted to feel better. Like, I was getting rashes, and it was so heavy, and it was causing a lot of pain on my legs that And I had a lot of people tell me, you know, don't have these huge expectations that you're just going to be like perfect and, you know, you're going to have, and I'm like, I never went into it thinking, you know, I'm going to have, actually, my tummy is way more flatter than I ever would have imagined. You know, it's just, um, I just didn't expect it. Like, I did not expect it whatsoever. And when I woke up, I literally was like, where the hell is my stomach? I was like, what happened? What did you do to me? You know, because, but, you know, I mean, what kind of expectations do you think people have? I mean, you know, it's, I didn't have any expectations. I just didn't want the pain and the horrific rashes.
Right. I think people have all kinds of expectations of making themselves perfect up from that point all the way down to maybe making themselves look less ethnic if it's their nose, or making their face look less saggy. They're not trying to be perfect, but they want to be the best that they can be. And again, who they choose and how elastic their skin is, and you know, and how it's done based on, you know, their overall look. That's how it's going to turn out. You
So
never know.
what kind of expectations do you think that people go into this having, though? Like,
I
do
think
you
it
think
runs the gamut. I think that if they're getting something done on their face, they're expecting it to look better. Now, there are people, probably Alicia and you guys, I would say, that believe that having some form of plastic surgery is going to turn them into a Barbie, or you know, they're going to
Right.
turn into someone they're not. They're suddenly going to wake up and look in the mirror and not see that same person looking back at them. But that's very unrealistic. Um, in my opinion, you know, you're going to look like yourself with a different nose, or you're going to look like yourself with wider eyes, or you're going to look like yourself with a little bit less, you know, dragging jaw, you know, or whatever it is you're getting done. Or, you know, for the guys, you know, same thing. They're going to look smoother nose, you know, they're going to, whatever the procedure is, they're just going to be themselves, but just a little modified. And that's really kind of what it is. And it's, I just remember when I had my nose done that I kept like looking at my nose, because it does change over time. It takes a while for the swelling to go all the way down, like 6 months to a year before it actually is what it's going to be like. And at first it's a little bit, you know, shocking. It doesn't look like your old nose, but it doesn't look like it's going to look either.
Right.
So I can speak for the nose and the eyes, but yeah, so I can imagine, you know, and I just kept thinking, I like this. I like this.
Yeah.
But I did look through my surgeon's work. I looked through the books, the before, the after, and I saw all the people in the waiting room. Hundreds and hundreds of people, you know, all the different times I went
Right.
for different things. There was always people with their faces taped up, men, women. And in that area where I had it done, here in California, that's a very ethnic area where I had where my surgeon was. So a lot of them, the men, are getting their nose size, like you say, reshaped or recontoured, and they just wanted to have a more of a Roman like nose, so to say, right?
What about you, Pamela?
I would say, like, if it's something like on your face, maybe like your nose is crooked or something like that, and maybe you don't have a lot of friends, and maybe you don't have a lot of confidence, and you think by having the surgery, you're going to be popular, and you're going to make so many friends, and you're going to feel so great about yourself, and it doesn't really work like that. You know, it's like all, you know, things on the inside too. Like, yeah, it might help a little bit, but it's not going to fix everything. And a lot of women with getting their boobs done, they're going to think the opposite sex is going to notice them more, or, you know, whatever, something like that. But I think a lot of people think that, not everyone, but a lot of people think that getting a particular procedure done is just going to drastically change their lives. And for some people it might, but for most people it doesn't.
Yeah.
I guess it depends how big they're going to make you, because then you could definitely cause a lot more stir in the room. You know, if they make them big, make girls, you know, big, but people are just eyes are gonna pop out of their head, and we've all seen women that have that done.
Yeah.
You know.
What about you, Rob or Melissa? What do you guys think?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
The expectations. What do you think the expectations people have?
I think the people that I know that have had weight loss or reconstructive surgery love their expectations, but one. I had a high school girlfriend get her nose done. I didn't even know she got her nose done until like a couple weeks ago. But she was not happy with it. And it's been a few years since she got her nose job, and I can't tell the difference between pre-nose job and post-nose job. But my weight loss surgery friends who've had weight loss surgery, I think had good expectations, and um, they look great, honestly. So I think that if you go in there with an open mind, that you get what you pay for, of course, and you have to do your research, and you have to be very open with your surgeon of what your expectations are and what he can or cannot do, or she can or cannot do. But um, I so far all the expectations I've seen are fabulous.
Yeah. And you, Big Daddy?
Well, I think in general people would have high expectations. If you care enough to want to change the way you look, or especially something with your face or your nose or your lips or something that's visible, if you don't have a high expectation, then why are you doing it? Why don't you just leave it the way it is? I mean, obviously you care about what it looks like. So in my opinion, the expectation would be high with people having surgeries that are changing their appearance or that they're unhappy with. Um, that would be my opinion. I've known people that's had surgery, and I think when you start getting into the facelift and all that kinds of stuff, it's noticeable. I mean, the lady that I know, she went to a great surgeon. He's one of the best in Arizona, but anyone can look at her and tell she's had plastic surgery. And it's unfortunate because I truly think she looked better than she did after she had it done. But on the other hand, if she feels she looks better, then that's what's important. It's not about what someone else feels, it's about how you feel. But you have to remember, anytime you get plastic surgery done, there's always going to be a scar here or there, and it may be hidden for now. But when things start to go down again and go south, or you take your clothes off and you've had this or that done, it's there. You can't hide that stuff truly. I mean, maybe there's ways to cover it up, but it's there. So, just that's something to keep in mind when you decide to have these things done.
I want to go to the comments because we do have a few comments here. So Gastric Joy is here. I just want to say hi to her, and she just, I want to say, is very preggo, and she is pregnant with twins, and that girl has been in and out of the hospital. She's not due till December, so crossing our fingers that you make it. She's expecting 2 boys, so I think that will be 6 kids for her.
Wow.
So that girl is, yeah. So I just want to say hi to her. And then Lori Has Hope is here. And, oh, actually, I just read, Gastric Joy says she is dilated to 3 centimeters, so she may not make it to December. Mary J says, hi all, I'm here for every show. Alicia, you look great. Nice to see you too, Zen.
Hey.
And Rob, hugs, honey. Love you all. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you, Mary.
Gastric Rose says, hello all, I'm traveling on a train. Hope I don't lose Wi-Fi.
Oh yeah, hey Rose.
Yeah. New Lift, I don't know how to say, 808 says, I can't get on here. I was on Google Plus but couldn't comment, not sure why, so I came here to comment and watch. Prairie Princess 1, our wonderful friend Tina is watching. Hey Tina. Mama Mia VSG, Melissa, she says that she had breast reconstructive post-mastectomy with a tummy tuck, and that she'll need a revision after she's finished losing weight. And so yeah, that's a big mouthful there. So you know, congratulations, and you're looking amazing. So keep it up. And then of course, Tina, she said that she had the brachioplasty arm lift after 135 pounds lost and not at goal, and has been the best decision. It has freed me up to achieve the exercise goals that I'm striving for. I think it's a personal decision for each individual, and especially after we lose so much weight and work so hard. For some of us need to feel comfortable in our new bodies and feel free from that sagging skin.
Amen.
So yeah, I definitely I definitely think that sometimes it's a health issue, and other times it's a, you know, you do just need to feel better about the work that you've done, you know, and stuff. And so I guess, yeah, it is a big personal issue, you know, thing. I think that there's like, I look at it like this. I look at it like there's plastic surgery and then there's reconstructive surgery. What I had, I consider reconstructive surgery. Now, I do get a lot of questions that people ask me, and they ask me, well, why did you have it done now? Because you're not even at your goal, you know, what you want your goal to be. And, you know, I try to explain it to everybody, but, I mean, the best way to say it is that it was a decision that me and my surgeon made together, and mostly my surgeon, that he felt like this was the best thing for me. And not that there's a list of things that he wants to do, but you know, we have also talked about getting my thighs done in the future, because I have a lot of skin and weight there. So but my surgeon he's the specialist, and he actually deals with a lot of people who have either had a large amounts of weight that they have lost, or who are like morbid obese. You know, they have issues. So he is a specialist that came highly recommended by my doctors and stuff. He was the only one that I saw, and I felt comfortable with him since the moment he walked in the room. So I had I really didn't see anybody else.
Alicia, one thing I want to point out is we're talking about people that's lost a lot of weight having surgeries. A lot of the surgeries, not all, a lot of the surgery that people that had drastic weight loss, they're doing things to better their life because they have obstruction. For instance, your stomach is gone between your thighs, Tina's arms, things that kept her from doing what it is. When you look at the statistics and you look at what the top 5 things were, and there's nothing wrong with this, a lot of the people having these surgeries are people that are not overweight and are doing it to make themselves look better. We're talking about breast augmentation. Now, I'm sure there's people within the weight loss community give it that one. Women do that, I think, any shape or size, especially after they've lost weight. But when you get into nose reshaping, eyelid surgery, liposuction, and facelift, those are 4 of the top 5. And those, in my opinion, are not something that people that are overweight or were morbidly obese and lost a lot of weight, or even overweight and lost enough weight, are going out and having those surgeries. That's people that are at what we classify as normal in the United States.
Right.
I believe, you know, could be wrong, but it makes sense to me.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, people ask me all the time, they're like, are you going to get your arms done? And I'm like, I know my arms are big, but I don't have a problem with my arms. Like, I just don't, that's not an issue for me. Like, I'm not running to jump out, and believe me, I've seen people who've had, like, 360 body lifts and stuff. That's just not something that I think that I could ever do. But, you know, I get it. There's a lot of skin, and you know, I know that I'm going to end up with a lot of skin and stuff, but there's just not, I'm not trying to get everything done. Like, I just want to get the things that are medically necessary for me, you know, and stuff, and not to down anyone else. I mean, if someone else wants to look better and pay thousands of dollars to do it, then, you know, if it's their money and they're, you know.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think that, like Alicia, what you had done is more for mobility too. I mean, not only the rashes and the health concerns, but mobility. I mean, you couldn't really get around that good with that large of a stomach, and I think a lot of people who have a lot less of one are also seeking for their insurance to pay, and then a lot of them do get denied, right?
Well, yeah, and and that's another thing is that I've had a few people actually message me and were kind of like um, they were mad because I got it and my insurance paid for it. And yes, I am on Medicaid. In case anyone wants to know, I have no issues with admitting that I'm on state assistance. I've never kept that a secret whatsoever. And I did get it, and they felt like it was necessary for me to get it. Um, and I've had people message me and say that they were mad because they've tried to get it and they couldn't get it. But I'm sorry, but I'm a different person than you. We're not the same bodies, we're not the same insurance, we're not the same doctors. Like everything's different. And that's a choice that I had to make, and my doctor.
There's
And
always going to be sour.
Alicia, I think the thing to be open-minded with too is, like you said, you've made no secret about it that you're on state aid, so on and so forth. The surgery that you had done, I mean, obviously your doctor knows, he's a physician, but anyone that's seen your video can tell that's something that you absolutely needed to have done to better life. And I think that's when you're talking about, state aid and things like that, people have a right to be able to be mobile and be able to do things and be able to have a good quality of life. When things stand in their way, that's really out of their control. You can't cut it off yourself and get rid of it. Now, if you're going in for a facelift and the state's paying for that, I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that unless surgically or medically something happens to deform me. That's not what, in my opinion, what the system is for. But the surgery that you have done, anyone that questions that was probably just trying to throw fuel on a fire and get you riled up, because anyone that looked at it with any common sense can tell that it was a procedure that needed to be done.
yeah,
Amen.
yeah.
There's a lot of people out there that just in general, if they know that you're on state aid of some sort, are just, they think you're lazy and you're just mooching off the government. Like, I've been on food stamps in the past, and nearly every time I went to the grocery store, someone always said something to me, or huffed, or said something to the person they were with. So there's just people out there who are just going to be judgmental just because of that. And it's not.
And jealous.
And in fairness, it's fair to say that I think that the welfare system is flawed. There's many flaws within it, but it also serves a purpose, and I believe it's something that is needed. But I believe there is a lot of flaws within it, and will they ever be corrected? I don't know. I don't know. We're not the lawmakers. We don't make those decisions, so to say. But I think that frustrates people with certain things that they see and so on and so forth. But again, like my good friend Brooke says, worry about the things that are in your shopping cart and not someone else's, especially when you're at the store. Because those things that are bitching, not all the time, about what everybody else is buying on their food stamps are the same people that overspent, that are losing their homes to foreclosure. And guess what, folks? That affects us too. You can't afford to buy your house. You're losing your house. And that's going back to the bank. Where's that write-off of that money going? You're not paying a debt that you took on. So before you put your nose in someone else's cart and decide to judge them, take a look in the mirror.
I know that when I was age, there were a few people at the pool who had a reconstructive surgery, and one of the big topics was having reconstructive surgery before having kids. And you might have went over this before. I do apologize, but one woman had hers after children, and two of my very close friends had theirs before children. And I know both of my close friends decided to have it before children is because they're worth it. They wanted to enjoy their body before they had kids. One had weight loss surgery very early, like probably, I think she was 18 when she had her weight loss surgery. She lost her weight young. She had weight loss surgery young, so she wanted to have plastic surgery young. She's not ready to have kids for another 4 to 5 years. And then, another friend, she had hers before kids, but she was really pretty offended when the person who had their weight loss surgery or had their plastics after surgery or after kids said, like, why did you waste the money, having it before kids? Well, it's because they're worth it, and everybody chooses to have their surgeries before or after kids. My personal preference is I do want to have plastics, but I want to have plastics after kids. I know that I gain weight very easily, so I'm assuming once I get pregnant, I'm going to pack those pounds on, and my skin's going to stretch some more, and I will, well, hopefully I will save up the money, enough to have the surgeries I would like. But I love that my friends had their surgeries young before kids. Their bodies are rocking, and I want to wear a bikini too, but I'm not gonna have that bikini yet, so I get to look at their beautiful bodies.
Right. Well, I mean,
Yeah, it is a choice. It's a choice of what you do, and stuff. And I just have to say this, I am now an alien because I have no belly button. So I just want to let everyone know that
Kyle XY.
Huh?
You're Kyle XY's, mom now.
Yeah. It doesn't bother me, and I know people were like, "Oh my gosh, you can pay to have one made." I'm like, "Why?" It
you
really
one on.
it doesn't bother me. Like, let me just say, the scars that I have a scar from my bypass, a scar from my paniculectomy. I don't care about scars. Like, I don't care about scars. And if I wanted to wear a bikini and I still had a scar, then I would do it just because, and yeah, so.
Who needs a belly button?
Right? I mean, they just collect lint.
There's nothing sexy about.
I'm sorry, but belly buttons are not attractive. I'm just saying, they are not attractive. Not to me, anyway. That's my opinion. We have a couple more comments coming in. So that fat chick says, "Hello, group."
Hello.
And then Granny says, "Hi, all. Finally got here." Diane Raw Girl says, "Me too. I have been on since the beginning. I too can't say anything over at Google Plus." Oh, she was talking about Google Plus. That's cool. We love Google, don't we? Gastric Rose said, "I hated my tummy down on my knees. I was not left perfect, but so much better. Yay to freedom. That is what I'm talking about." And Gastric Joy says she's still there, but her Wi-Fi keeps going out. So I do have to say, I've been watching Rose and her sister Connie for a while, and I know that, they've both had plastic surgery, and I know that Rose has been through so much, and, and I have to say that, it's like people may look at her and not think that she's, perfect, but like I look at her and I think she's just amazing. She's been a huge supporter of mine through this whole journey. She's helped me since I got my bypass and stuff, and I just, that's another person who really gets the what it's like to have your stomach down, almost to your knees, and just, you need it done and stuff, and I commend her for just being on here and just, being so brave, and just like everything that I think she's a huge part of helping people in this community, and so I just want to say thank you, Rose. Just, thank you for always sharing and stuff. But yeah, I know her and her sister both had plastic surgery to get, well, more, I guess I would call it reconstructive surgery, to get that skin removed and stuff. So So
I think
yeah,
it's gone awesome. Sorry.
yeah, no, yeah,
Alicia, there was some statistics that came out too that I wanted to share on plastic surgery death, because I think it's part of the process and it's something that I'm sure people consider anytime you go in for a surgery. But in this case, it was the plastics that we were talking about in it, and I was surprised at some of these statistics and also some that they don't track, which it's 2014, so that's very weird to me that they went and tracked those. But it says liposuction-related surgery deaths are estimated to happen 1 in every 5,000 cases due to the use of general anesthesia. Tummy tuck account for 1 out of every 500 cases, and for elderly undergoing facelift procedures, the risks are 1 in every 600. No deaths are recorded or recorded that are related to breast implants, eyelid tucks, or other minor surgeries. So they don't, even though those are some of the major ones or the ones that people have the most, they don't track them. And I don't care if there's not a lot of deaths. Why wouldn't you still track those?
right.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
That doesn't make sense to me. It's like, I wonder why they wouldn't track something like that.
Yeah.
But they don't. And you know, the numbers, and I looked at several different sources, and they were all very close to each other. Now, you know, no one really knows when it's their time, but I was surprised to see that liposuction. Well, really, I was surprised to see that the tummy tuck statistics were so high, 1 in 500. That was a little alarming to me.
So you said they didn't track the breast augmentation?
They don't track deaths that happen from breast augmentation or eyelid tucks.
I was gonna say the breast augmentation, since it's like, you know, like the highest or the #1 for females to get. Maybe they don't track it because there's a lot of deaths, but that's a lot of money that they make. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it could be. You never know, but you can go in for something minor and die. I mean, you know, who knows what happened with Joan Rivers? But perfect example, she went in for something, and you know, she didn't come out of it. And I mean, yeah, she's older, I get it, but you know, there's all kinds of speculation going on behind what happened with her. But it's just like you just never know. So it doesn't matter how minor. Anytime you go under an anesthetic or you know, you go into a surgery and stuff, I'm sure there's a risk of dying, whether it's a major surgery or even the minor one. So I don't understand why they wouldn't track those.
Rob, did you track deaths that were in the United States, also out of the country, like in Mexico? I know a lot of people in our community go to have their surgeries in Mexico. Not saying that there's anything wrong with that, but
I did not track those. The report I pulled was from within inside the United States.
Okay. So I know that if anybody hasn't seen Melanie's Sky Moon 1982's YouTube, I highly suggest everybody watching her videos about her plastics, how hers were botched in Mexico.
No, it was Colombia. It wasn't
Colombia. It was in Colombia. I'm sorry. You're right. I watched her. She was one of the first people I've ever saw on YouTube, and she was one of the first people I saw get plastic surgery after weight loss surgery. And she was on Ricky Lake also, so she's definitely somebody I would go, if you guys are looking into plastics and you're wanting to do them out of the country, hers would be one of the videos I tell you to go watch.
Yeah, there's a series she's done. I mean, there wasn't just one. There's multiple videos of her going through the reconstruction that she had had.
Yeah.
So that's another. I mean, why? You know, I get that it's cheaper in other countries and stuff, but is it worth? I mean, is it worth going to another country and paying less and possibly not getting as much care as you need?
Well, not in my opinion.
I don't think.
Not in my opinion, but I also think that those situations could happen in the United States also. I really think you need to do research on your surgeon, see how many patients they've taken care of, see how many patients of theirs have gotten infections afterwards. Those are things that you would need to discuss with, you know, your surgeon. Make sure they're board certified.
Yeah. Well, I know that like with my I didn't realize that they only usually keep you in the hospital like 4 to 5 hours after surgery. I wouldn't think with a big surgery like what I had that they kept you in for that short amount of time. But my surgeon wanted to keep me in overnight because I have breathing problems. I have sleep apnea, or I did, and so my last surgery, my bypass, I had a little bit of trouble when coming out of surgery, breathing and stuff. So he wanted to make sure that everything was okay. So he wanted to keep me in at least 7 hours. But it just amazes me how they want to get you in and get you out as soon as possible.
Yeah.
You know,
They need that bed for the next person, honey. That's a well-oiled machine.
Do you know that I had to wait in the what do they call it, the recovery area? I had to wait there for hours so that they could find me a bed. Like they
That's why
could.
they're pushing your ass out the door.
Yep.
And then I was just like, oh my god, you know.
I know with Laura and Becca's surgeries that they had with Dr. Katzen, there was no hospital stay. They stayed in the hospital a few hours, and then Laura was making a video in the car coming from Dr. Katzen's office. So I know that those two didn't stay at all. Becca stayed in a hotel close to her surgeon's, Dr. Katzen's office. But
Did
she
she have the 360?
She did.
She had, hold on, I interviewed her kind of last night.
She did, I think, have 360.
She did have the 360. She also had her arms and her breasts done also. And so did Becca. She had the 360 and her breast and arms done also.
Wow.
Done in multiple surgeries. Becca done in 2, and I think Laura had them in 4 surgeries, I believe.
I would be scared to have the 360. Like that just scares me. But I'm afraid. I know I'm ridiculous right now, but I'm afraid that like everything's just gonna fall. I'm gonna fall apart. Like if I were to have that, I'm gonna break apart, and I'm gonna be like the zombies. One part of me is gonna be laying here on the ground here, and the other part's over there. I know I'm ridiculous, but that goes through my mind. Like I'm sure that I was so sure that my incision was gonna open and my guts were gonna come flying out. I know I'm gross. I'm gross.
I was thinking about the statistics, why maybe they're not reported. Maybe they're using different anesthesia because you're under a different depth depending on what they're doing to you. And with like a lot of the breast augmentation, they're making a small incision. They're not cutting way down deep. They cut a smaller incision into the muscle, or they either go over or under it, and they stick the implant in, or in the case of I guess a reshaping. I forgot, contouring. Yeah. They will. They'll cut some and then cut some out, but it's not like they're going down inside the inner workings of the body parts. They're just really beneath the skin or beneath the muscle, and then it's sew it back up, and voila. Balance them, making sure that they're the same size, and the girls look even and all that, and then I don't think it takes all that long, really.
Yeah, for me, it's not a matter of how long. I just don't understand how in one of the most educated countries in the world, it's 2014 and we don't record those deaths, but we'll record deaths of people who had allergic reaction to medicine.
Right.
So
Yeah. Why not record the death that happened during these procedures? Death from some reaction to medicine. They're not cutting in their body at all for that, but yet that'll be recorded and a statistic can be done on that. And everybody can be allergic to different things. So there's a reason why that's not being reported, and I don't know what it is. And I'm not saying that there's a conspiracy theory. I'm just saying that blows my mind that those statistics are not recorded. Yeah.
Right. I mean, they should. I think that no matter what kind of surgery it is, they should be recorded.
A death is a death. If you go in to have your finger taken off because part of it was bit off by a dog and for some reason you have a reaction or the anesthetic's bad or you have a heart attack, that should be recorded. And it probably is. But if you go in and get fake breast put in or get a breast augmentation or you're going to get an eyelid and you die during that, that's not recorded and reported. I mean, I'm sure, but it's not reported out. And I don't understand why that's not done.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, it isn't. It should be. It should be.
Well, I know.
From the Surgeon General in the next presidential administration, that will happen.
Well, I know there was a famous football player's mom in Florida, I believe, that went in for like a facelift or something and died on the table.
Liposuction. She went in for liposuction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She went in for liposuction, something that was like routine, and died. That's just, that blows my mind.
So we have a few more comments here. Embracing Wellness says, being mobile can really make a difference in someone's quality of life. And that is so true. So true. I mean, you know, I've said it before. I used to be 560 pounds, and, like, you know, it's crazy how it's like between night and day right now. You know, I'm not near my goal weight, or where I want to be, but just being able to get up by myself, walk by myself, you know, just everything, do everything on my own it's amazing, you know, and it really does make someone's quality of life so much better. Just, you know.
Well, I know, Alicia, we talked the first day that you got out, and the first time you went to the bathroom after your surgery, you were so ecstatic, and I was so happy for you that you didn't have any troubles and you didn't have to do any extra work just to go to the bathroom. Like that.
Well, I know this is, I don't know if I've said this, and I know this is a little much, and maybe it's a little bit much, but you know what? Alicia is all about putting herself out there. So, you know, now you got to realize that I have been overweight, obese my whole entire life. And I think that when you know, the first time I used the bathroom after surgery, like, I literally was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have a hard time. I'm going to have someone come help me because this huge stomach, it's going to get in the way and I can't, you know, I have incision. Then I realized, oh yeah, I don't have the stomach. And, you know, just being able to use the bathroom and figuring out what I have, like, it's like I'm discovering, let me just put it this way, I'm discovering my whole body all over again that I didn't know that was even there. And it's a crazy feeling being 40 years old and never, you know, always having this huge stomach in the way. Like, it's just insane to me. I keep staring at my thighs all the time because it's like, oh my gosh, like, I can see my thighs, and it's the craziest thing ever. You know, just the little simple things to me, it's just crazy. Mm-hmm. But there's a couple more. Diane Raw Girl says, Alicia, the hat looks nice and the lipstick is fab. Thank you so much. And she also says, I have eyes with hooded lids and I will just stay me. So she doesn't plan on getting those hooded eyes fixed. Gastric Rose said, "Aw, thank you, and yes, it was to better our lives. No shame in that feeling. Very blessed." And she also said that she had the 360. Rose did have the 360, and she got a staph infection that took almost a year to heal. But she said that she would do it all over again for the freedom of today. And then Mary J. said, after my bypass in 2009, I was happy they got rid of me. I believe a person heals quicker and feels so much better being in their own home. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Yeah, I do know that Rose said that she did have a staph infection and it took her a long time. And, you know, that was another thing that my doctor had informed me of the risks. And one of the risks, or one of the things that could happen, is that he said that part of my incision could open, and it would get to the point where I would have to go in, or I would have to have it packed with medication, and because I could get an infection. And luckily that has not happened to me, and I think that they're really surprised that that hasn't happened to me, just because of still my size. I mean, I'm 364 pounds right now, and so I'm still, I'm still really big and stuff. So they're really surprised at how well I'm doing. But I'm telling you right now, I heal like this because I took out these, and within just a few hours, they are closed up completely. They're healed up. They're closed. So I'm like, really?
Are you
Really?
gonna get them redone?
I am, because I love them. I absolutely love them. So I will get them redone.
Awesome.
Yeah. So any last thoughts from you guys? I know that went by so quick.
I want to ask the cast real quick. I mean, we can keep it very short. If you have one thing done, plastic surgery-wise or reconstructive or whatever you wanted to do, to just change anything you wanted to with your body, what would you have done?
I would do my arms. I want my bat wings to go away. I don't want a second wave when I wave at you.
Yeah.
You don't want to fly away? We could
I
fly.
don't fly away.
So what about you?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta say this really quick, that I, first of all, have to say that I'm getting tired of people telling me, like, I get it and I understand, but I'm tired of people staring at my boobs and telling me that I need a better bra. Like, I get that I need a better bra, and I get that I need to have one that will hold them up and everything else, but they're my boobs, and if I want them hanging on the floor, then I will have them hanging on the floor. With that said, I have never had, like, perky boobs, so that would be me. I want perky boobs. Just saying.
Awesome. Pam?
Okay, other than the breast lift reconstruction thing that I want to have done when I'm done losing weight, and that would be because of the skin issues and stuff, if it was a cosmetic thing that I could do, it would be to get rid of this. I hate that. I'm so, like, weird about my chins. That would be it.
I love how she goes. I was like, what is she doing?
Ben, what about you?
I'm gonna do the tummy tuck, and like if I can only pick one, that's what I'm definitely gonna do. That's on the calendar, honey.
Okay, tummy tuck. Okay, and for me, I just have to say, and I'm not trying to show all it on, but when I lose my weight, I look really good. I ain't even gonna lie, and I don't think there's nothing that I need done body-wise. So for me, I would get a kick-ass set of veneers. Okay, for the pearls up here, I'd get me some veneers. I ain't even gonna lie, and I'd have it.
I would totally do that too.
Oh my God, I would totally love to have some veneers. I'd be like,
It's about 30 grand, bro. That's a lot of money.
that's fine.
$1,000 a tooth or something?
What?
It's like $30,000.
Yeah.
Really?
That's ridiculous.
It is.
Oh, wow. That's
But they would look awesome.
Yeah.
yeah.
That ain't no joke.
So, well, I think that this show, we covered, some different stuff and opinions, and I appreciate the viewers, whether you watch live or whether you watch later. I appreciate you guys watching us and just kind of giving your input. I think it kind of really opens your eyes about looking, when you think about plastic surgery or reconstructive surgery, or what it is, the reason why you're getting it done, and if there's a good reason. I mean, obviously, our own opinion, our own reason is good enough, and we don't have to answer to anybody except us and our surgeons. So I just wish you guys all the luck if you are looking into having it. And anyway, from us to you, I just want to say have a great week, and thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next week. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.